Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. And for today's video, we are going to be doing something a little bit different. Normally I'm posting pick-a cards or true crime tarot videos, but today's feels a little bit like true crime, but it is not. We are actually going to be deep diving into the life of Eugenia Cooney. Now, I went back and forth on deciding whether I should make this video or not, as I knew there's just so many sides to this. Every opinion is welcome here. I just ask that we be respectful. I'm going to put up a big trigger warning because this is going to talk a lot about eating disorders and potentially abusive environments. Not every eating disordered person comes from a family full of toxic behaviors, and we don't even know Eugenia Cooney's family to say that that's exactly what's happening. But we do see a lot of the interaction between her and her mother during her lives or her videos. Her mother is often behind the camera filming Eugenia Cooney as she showcases her very, very thin figure and sometimes skimpy clothing, sometimes not, but it comes off as very exploitive and it's really hard to watch. Another big thing with this video that we are going to be taking a look at is the fact that Eugenia Cooney has been online since she was in her teens, and she's now a 30-year-old woman, and nothing about her has changed besides the fact that she's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. She's in denial, and her family is in denial.
How is your mom okay watching you wilt away?
I know she eats. She takes good care of herself. Happens to be skinny mini, but she does
exactly.
And that is the most alarming part, is they're not acknowledging it. They continue to say she is fine, she is okay, she's healthy, but she has no friends. She doesn't leave the house unless it's to go to Disney World, and she is just on TikTok live most of the days for hours at a time, not eating, sometimes taking a sip of water, but if she does, it makes her sick. But to get right into the content that I'm making, we're going to be looking at each member of her family, her mom, her dad, her brother, and then herself. We're going to be looking at how the dynamics work together and just overall get an idea of what is really going on, how did this start, and why has it gone this far. I also want to be taking a look at how social media has impacted her eating disorder, and I would like to take a look at the relationship dynamic of Jeffree Star, his intentions with her, and how the Shane Dawson documentary impacted her as well. Now, if you're not familiar with her, I definitely recommend doing your own research because I'm not really going to be getting into anything else, and besides being through the tarot cards or through my dowsing rods. This is all the explanation that I'm giving, but I'm certain if you click this video, then you probably know who she is. Everything is alleged for entertainment purposes only, and please do not say anything crazy to her or go give her hate, as she doesn't need any more stress in her life. But enough yapping. I feel like I said everything I need to say. Let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Okay, so before we get started, I'm going to be cleansing my space. I'm going to be using some eucalyptus leaves. I've been really liking purifying my space with eucalyptus leaves lately. It really helps with more clear and direct communication, and also relieves any stress or anxiety, which I definitely tend to pick up on the emotions during these readings, so it just kind of helps a little bit with that. Another thing I'm going to do really quick is just put on some protection oil, because I have a feeling the topics we're going to be getting into is just going to be a little bit intense and dark, so I really want to protect my energy and my space. Okay, so what I'm going to be taking a look at first is I'm going to pull a card for each member of the family, as well as Eugenia, to see the dynamics between them. And then after that, we'll get into more of the specifics of each family member on what's going on. So the very first card that I'm going to pull is going to represent Eugenia Cooney's mother. And this is going to be just her as a person, not in relation to anything else, just a card that represents Eugenia Cooney's mother. And this is all based off the current energies in their life. Okay, we have the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups sometimes represents like a celebration, a social status. Cups directly relate to our emotional well-being and understanding and comprehension of things. So that's very interesting. What I'm kind of feeling right now is for the fact that Eugenia Cooney's mom is getting the Three of Cups, I feel like she finds it really important to, I think she feels that it's very important to have a social status or a status of some type. I think she likes to feel welcomed. I think she likes to fit in. Yep. Okay. This is exactly what's coming through. I really feel like she puts a high priority on how people perceive her, which is so interesting because a lot of people perceive her in a very negative light right now. But I feel like it's coming from a place that's so maybe vain is the right word, or just out of touch. And some weird way, there's just such a disconnect because she's doing the exact opposite of what she desires, which is to feel welcomed and accepted, and like she has friends and like she has things going for her. And I know, let me just say, I know nothing about any of these people. I did not do any research besides what I already know about Eugenia Cooney. So like I don't even know if there's any info out there on like the mom besides just in context of this. So I feel like maybe throughout her life, perhaps she did really identify herself with like the popular girls, or wanted to identify herself with the popular girls. And I think that I'm just really getting the feeling of like she wanted to fit in. She needed to be a part of what was going on. That's been very important to her. This next card here is going to be for Eugenia Cooney. This is the Five of Cups. So this showcases that she is very focused on the lack in her life and what has hurt her. So her failures, the areas that she feels like she could be doing better at. So this would make a lot of sense with her body image. But also I feel like this is just with herself as well. I feel like she's very disappointed at the experiences that she's had in life, at her relationships in life, because again, the cups are about emotions and your relationships and happiness, passions, and romance even. So, oh my gosh, yeah, it hurts. It feels very sad. It's very sad. She knows that she has been missing out on a lot, and that there is still so much she'll never experience. And I think that this is something that she feels deeply. And I think this is also something she feels deeply about her appearance. As people go online, and I mean, they will say some crazy stuff to her. They will troll her. It's really unfortunate. So it's just this feeling of like never being good enough. And that's really heartbreaking. Okay, so I'm going to pull a card for the dad. Here in a little bit, I'll be doing the energy between all of them. Right now, I'm going to pull a card for the dad. Okay, we got two cards. So we got the Ace of Swords and the Devil card reversed. Okay, so he got two cards. So with the Ace of Swords and the Devil card reversed, this is a breakthrough and like getting rid of things that like no longer serve you. I'm putting them on top of each other like this so I don't run out of room. Okay. Ooh, you know what? Does he live with them anymore? I don't think he does. I mean, I don't know. I think that's what people are saying. I'm not quite sure. But to me, this shows me that the dad saw what was going on and he was like, I want to separate myself. I want to get away from this. I'm not saying that he didn't have a part in some way. We're going to be diving into that some more. I just don't know. But to me, I think he had an awareness to just how bad things are. Perhaps she does too. Well, again, we'll look at the in-between. But man, this tells me that he has had some insight, some breakthrough knowledge, some ideas, and he was ready to cut the crap. Dang. Okay. Now I want to do a card for her brother. You know, this can also be representative of him changing as well. I would like to mention that at one point he had been in trouble with the law for driving while under the influence. So perhaps this is also just changed for the better, letting go of addictions, toxic habits, stuff like that, breakthrough insights. So that's another way that this can be translated, that perhaps he's moved on from that. So, okay, let's get a card for the brother. Here we have the Hermit card reversed. So maybe he's pretty isolated as well. Is this in the frame? Let me check. Okay, good enough. So maybe he is also a little bit like to himself and isolated as well. The Hermit card generally represents being alone and inner knowledge and seeking truth and answers. But when it's in the reverse, this is usually like, oh no, like you're isolating yourself. You're not expanding in the way that you should be. So perhaps they are kind of in a similar boat of isolation and not having many people around them. I don't know where the brother's at. I don't know if he lives with them. Maybe he lives with dad. Maybe he's on his own. I don't know. I don't even know his age. So maybe we'll be finding out more about that later. But okay, so now I would like to pull a card for the energy dynamic in between Eugenia Cooney and her mother. Energy dynamic between Eugenia Cooney and her mother. Okay, we have the Four of Swords. Yeah, they are not acknowledging anything. Okay, and I feel like that's just like an unspoken rule. Oh my gosh. Okay, so many things are just coming so fast in my brain. Let me try and make sure I get them all out. So Four of Swords, think of it as like putting your thoughts up on the wall. The swords represent our logical processing, how we perceive things and understand things. And to me, like the sleeping for some reason, it's telling me like, shh, like, don't talk about it. We don't need to say anything. We don't need to talk about the fact that we're not going to talk about it because we're just not talking about it. Does that make sense? It's very hush hush. It's very just put it up over here. We're going to ignore it and it's a problem for another day. Whoa. Okay. Now I would like a card for the energy dynamic between Eugenia Cooney and her dad. And this is all current. Oh, the Two of Cups. This is so interesting. Okay, so maybe they actually have a better relationship than we would all perceive, because the Two of Cups is like a coming together. It can represent relationship dynamic. And again, the cups are emotions, happiness. So maybe she does feel a genuine connection with him. Maybe he had some breakthroughs about some things and cut off those toxic habits, and it made her a little bit feel like she could lean on him a little bit more. Maybe there's just a closer relationship that they've had in her upbringing. Okay, I will definitely be asking some more specifics about this later, whether it's through the tarot or dowsing rods, but this is so interesting. But to me, this feels like there's just a little bit of some deeper connection that they maybe have had or are currently having, because this is all based off the current energy. So maybe it could even be something in the sense of he just brings a different energy to the table, because while maybe he's not intervening or trying to help her, it's like, well, at least I'm not in some weird way like your mother. That's what it feels like. I don't know exactly to say what, but it's like, at least I'm not her. Okay, now I'd also like a card for the energy between Eugenia Cooney and her brother. Eugenia Cooney and her brother. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse. So definitely missed opportunity for a relationship. It feels like they're not very connected. Perhaps there's even been like some struggles or like when I say altercations, like arguments, just not seeing things in the same way, and also not having the same emotional response or like capacity for things. Perhaps they even like drain each other's energy a little bit. Okay, so now that I got this out of the way, I'm going to be going into the specifics of each family member and their internal thoughts on what's going on with Eugenia Cooney and their intentions of perception. The brother may not have any intentions of perception because he's not really online or anything. But, you know, we'll still ask. Maybe he does. I'm just going to get these mixed up a little bit. I feel like that's what I need to do. I don't always do that, but right now I feel like I need to do that. Okay. Here we go. So, first, let's take a look at the mother. So, I'm going to pull 3 cards. I would like to know her internal thoughts and beliefs of Eugenia Cooney. Okay, so we have the King of Cups, the World, and the Ace of Cups all in the reverse. So what this tells me is that she she is, she knows. Like, okay, as if anybody thought she didn't know. This is just a confirmation. She knows that it's not good. I also think she doesn't feel empathy for Eugenia Cooney. She doesn't feel an emotional connection with Eugenia Cooney. That is what this is telling me here. There's almost like a bitterness, like a harshness to it. The World card being in reverse signifies like a lack of completion, or a lack of like, an inability to complete something. I feel like part of her perspective of the situation is almost feeling like, oh, sorry, the words are escaping me right now. I know the feeling. I'm going to sit here with the feeling and see if I can better put these words together, okay? I feel like there's something that she was hoping to achieve within Eugenia Cooney that she couldn't achieve within herself. It feels like an incompleteness. And I feel like this perception is like let down again. That's what's coming to me. Let down again, incompleteness. Wasn't able to finish. That keeps coming in my brain. Wasn't able to finish. I don't know what that means. Misunderstood. That's another word. Selfish, that's another word. Whoa, okay, I feel like maybe there was some projections as well going on. Whoa, that was so weird. Sorry, I just had to sit there for a minute and like really try and get a more clear indication of it. So King of Cups, there's a lack of empathy there. She doesn't feel that emotional connection, and there was something she was hoping to achieve with Eugenia Cooney, and that was a failure. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse here, and this again is emotions, passions, relationships. This Ace of Cups here, I think she also sees this as a complete missed opportunity of success with whatever it is, whatever social status, whatever social status or relationship she was trying to bring into her life or create with Eugenia. That was not working. That was a failure at that missed opportunity at the social, like, whatever she was trying to build with her daughter. It almost feels like vicariously living through her. So I don't think that everything going on right now, I don't think that was the goal for her mom. I do feel that she was controlling, and she lacked that emotional motherly connection with Eugenia, and resented her for it. And I believe that there's maybe some things, again, I feel like she wanted to be seen in some kind of way, have some certain social status, and maybe she was pushing some of those feelings and ideas onto Eugenia Cooney, and it turned into this. I feel like that was a backfire in the mother's eyes, because she wanted her to be this beautiful girl, because maybe she thought that would make her more worthy and more popular, more appealing, and would also therefore make the mother herself more appealing. But in return, it just gave her a traumatized, severely disordered daughter. However, there is still there's still some weird opportunity coming through with what her daughter is doing, bringing in the money side of things and some attention there. So I feel like there's some like shallow bit of like acceptance through all this. This is like not the cards. This is just kind of coming to my brain. Sorry to throw this in here right now. If you don't know this, I read the tarot cards, but I also have like a bit of channeled messages, like intuitive downloads coming through at the same time. So it's a little bit of both. I don't know if everybody does it like that. That's how I do it. I think most people do it like that. I don't know. Anyways, what was I even saying? That's another thing. Like once I get the message and I say it, sometimes I like immediately don't remember like the next day or whatever. What was I saying? Okay, yeah. I do think there is some tiny bit of satisfaction with the fact that like her daughter did get popular in some weird way, just not in the way that she wanted it to. So mainly it's just missed opportunity and resentfulness. Wow. Okay. I feel like I talk too much sometimes. Anyways, the intentions of perception. What is she trying to achieve here? What is she trying to achieve? Let's do 3 more cards. The Devil card reversed. 5 of Cups. 8 of Cups. Okay, she's trying to show, and it's interesting that this card came up again, because that's a card that Eugenia Cooney got for herself. So this clearly indicates that part of her intention is about Eugenia Cooney's image and emotional state. We have the Devil card in reverse. This represents moving on, letting go of toxic things or things that we don't align with or identify with in our life. We have the 8 of Cups over here, which is like, normally this is like moving on from a situation, but right here, this is like kind of staying in one or like giving it a try again. And so while this is what's wanting to come off, you know, how she's wanting to be perceived, to me, this shows me that she is trying to appear as though like they have moved on from any hardships, from any hard times. It's like she's giving herself a do-over again. That's what this feels like, a do-over of how she's perceived emotionally, because it's very interesting. What's coming to my mind right now with this is how in the videos, she too puts on this weird kind of childlike baby voice in Eugenia Cooney's videos. And I feel like she's gotta know. She's gotta know what people are saying about her. And so to me, this is like, oh, I want to appear as though I've left my ways behind that anybody could perceive as negative or controlling or even abusive. And I've like more connected now. I'm more kind now. Like, me and my daughter are best friends. Like, don't look at the failures that are going on. Don't look at the hurt that she's going through. Don't look at all the things that we should be addressing, because we're letting it go, and we are just gonna keep rolling on with the idea that we're moved on from this and everything's okay. It's very interesting. This card is also telling me that no matter what she tries to put out there with perception, is that they're always going to be stuck in the same cycle. It's not going to work. So, okay, now that we have this out of the way, I'm going to pull cards for her dad. Because there was a point in time where he'd randomly show up on the lives and start talking, and it was just so weird. It felt very unnerving. And we will ask questions about this with the dowsing rods. There's a video a long time ago when I believe she was a teenager. She did a prank call on her dad, telling him that she was pregnant with his baby. First of all, what a sick prank call. Who would ever say that to their parent? I joke with my parents, and never in a million years would I ever say something like that. That's disgusting. And he wasn't outraged. He was confused. That is alarming. If I was a parent and my child told me that, I'd say, why are you saying that? Please do not say such a thing like that. That is horrible. Who told you to say that? Are you okay? But nope, that's not his response. So anyways, let's pull cards for the dad's internal thoughts on Eugenia Cooney's situation. I have the 7 of Cups. A lot of cup cards coming up. The Empress. One more. The King of Wands. Okay, so what this is telling me is, first of all, the 7 of Cups are all about priorities. So I think at this point in time, what's going on with him is he is focusing on him. He's focusing on him and his priorities in life. He's getting those in order. I feel like at this point in time, he is being a dad. And he's not being a bad dad, but he's not being like the most best dad. But what he's doing is he's looking at his own life. I feel like it's very apparent to him where things are going. And with the Empress card being here, this is all about nurturing and creation. This card often can align with like the manifestation card, like creating something, nurturing it to life, to health and all of this stuff. Perhaps he does see it as very important, nurturing her and being a leadership person in her life, like being somebody that she can look up to. But I'm not sure that's something that's happening. But I do feel like internally, he is recognizing I should reprioritize things. I should focus on nurturing her. I should take charge and make the choices to get her help. But I'm unsure of where that actually lands on my list of priorities. Perhaps I should just prioritize myself because the rest feels too complicated. That's what's coming through. Okay, I would like to pull some cards for the intention of perception. If he has any, really, we will find out if it's similar or not. Oh my gosh, Two of Cups again. Very interesting. Wheel of Fortune. And the Moon card. He's wanting to come off as a real connected, loving dad. You know, I gotta say, it is a little interesting having the Two of Cups card come up for him here as well as earlier. To me, this again shows the deepness of their relationship. Perhaps there was some more nefarious things going on. I don't know. We can ask. But also, this could indicate that, again, like that dynamic between them that came up earlier with this Two of Cups card, like this could really just be amplifying with this coming up also as the intentions of perception, that he just wants to come off as having that close relationship. He thinks all these things, but he's not actually doing anything about it. But on the surface level, he'll show up for her in a way that she'll accept enough because it's better than her mom. With the Wheel of Fortune, this is like good luck, it's good things. The Moon card can sometimes represent fears and anxieties, but it's also like connected with your intuition and healing. So I believe at this point in time, his perception that he's wanting to put out there, or like how he's wanting to be perceived, I should say, is just somebody who cares and that he's there for her and everything's fine. So that's interesting. Okay, so they're both problematic. I feel the mother, well, you know what? I'm just going to say in different ways. Let's take a look at her brother. What's his internal thoughts of EUGENIA Cooney? I know he's autistic. I'm not sure at what level. I know at one point there came about some photos that he drew that appeared to be EUGENIA Cooney in some sexual manners. That's a little odd. So there's just some weird stuff going on. We're going to pull 3 cards for him like we have everyone else. He's really alone in this. I think he actually sees this as a huge problem. There's a big dissatisfaction here. I'm seeing that with the family and with EUGENIA Cooney. I feel like there's a lot of resentment there. The Knight of Pentacles shows a lack of drive and direction and motivation. I think he's given up on them. He's like, whatever, I'm not even gonna deal with these antics. And again, I don't know who he lives with or what. Sorry, just drinking some water. Anyways, because we also have the 3 of Pentacles here, and this represents like being alone, not working together with people in a sense of like communicative or like working together or like wanting to understand something. I feel like he's like, I don't feel secure. I don't feel like I don't feel like these are reliable people that I can go to with my concerns or information. I feel like he feels very dissatisfied with the entire EUGENIA Cooney situation. So I wonder if he's really like, okay, let me back up. He must be trying to be perceived in a certain way if he's not going to be like dealing with them. So while I don't think he'd be trying to be perceived a certain way by social media or anyone else, perhaps just within the family. Yeah, he's definitely just like saying what he wants to be saying, or sorry, he's definitely just saying what he feels like he should be saying. Okay, so there is like a lack of security or like foundation in things. Like I feel like he's partly wanting to be perceived or is perceived in a way where it's like, oh, you know, we can kind of let some things slide with him because there's just not a stable sense of self. That's really weird, but that's what's coming up. And then the Queen of Cups here is like, oh, I'm okay. I'm content. I'm emotionally stable. I'm emotionally balanced. And the Three of Cups is, again, that like wanting to be accepted energy, or I am accepted, and just like rolling with that. That's good enough. So I think, yeah, he keeps his disgust and his disappointment to himself, and he honestly doesn't even feel like a bit of motivation or drive to even talk about it anymore. So at this point, perhaps he's just feeling a bit numb to it all and not even really angry. Okay, so now that we did that, it is time to dive into Eugenia Cooney herself. So let's take a look at Eugenia Cooney. Okay, so to start, we have the Six of Cups. This represents our past experiences and our memories. And I feel like this has been rooted in her childhood from a very early start. Her perception of herself is altered, obviously. And there's a refusal to fully accept and see the other side or the other way. That's what this card represents in the reverse. And the Eight of Pentacles is like practice makes perfect. It's dedication and working towards something. So I really feel like it feels like her past experiences, she is so determined to shield herself from them. She's going to keep working on it. She's going to keep moving forward with that direction. Keep herself in the what's the word? Keep herself detached from her true, like subconscious is coming through. I feel like all these things are just buried into her subconscious mind. I think very briefly it gets brought out into the conscious, but a lot of it is stuck in her subconscious mind. So this is like just continuing her path of destruction and social media. We will see. Let's see what's going on with that. What else do we need to know about Eugenia Cooney? Wow, she got the Three of Cups reversed. Yeah, she definitely, her mom is the problem. Okay. Let's put it like this. Okay, so we have the Three of Cups in reverse. This is representing her mother to me being the root cause of her isolation and being turned upside down. We have the Strength card in reverse. This is just what she's had to do with her whole life. We have the Five of Cups in reverse, which is like being able to see some positive. We do have the Four of Wands in the upright, which is like family and celebration. And then we have the Fool card in reverse. So, ooh, this is talking about, oh my gosh, this is talking about when she was, is it 5150? Okay, so some friends put her into this, you know, she basically had to go get help, okay? The mother is a huge part of the problem. And that's what was making her feel like she didn't have the strength, or she actually just could not get herself help because of the mother's problems. And she was basically forced to turn around and look at the potential good things to come, right? There's the celebration. There's a little glimpse of recovery. There was a little glimpse of hope. And with this Fool card being in reverse, it's like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to take that leap of faith yet. And I'm returning to my old ways. That is really sad. That is really sad. Now, moving to Eugenia Cooney now. I want to know, how does she feel about her family? That Two of Cups card again. They're all she has, and she's accepted that. And she is leaning into their relationships, and she feels like, that's it. Like, that's it. That is what it is. King of Swords is clear, direct communication, clarity, a strong knowing of basically what's going on around you. So I feel like she genuinely believes at this point, maybe throughout her whole life, I feel like she genuinely feels like they are doing their best for her, that they are keeping her healthy, and that they are, you know, they're supporting her, right? They're not doing anything to help her. And with her eating disordered mind, she wants to be, you know, not okay, really. That might be a hard thing to say, okay, because I'm not somebody with an eating disorder. Anyways, the fact that her family is not intervening, that means they're not getting in the way of her disordered mind wanting to stay disordered. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes I'm not the best with my words. Do not come for me, all right? Anyways, so I feel like she genuinely sees them as a loving family, a loving connection, even though there is some tension. I feel like maybe it was a little bit more obvious to her when she was younger, but at this point, she's like, no, I'm going to defend them. I'm going to stand with them. I feel complete with them because I'm able to continue my habits of disordered eating. Wow. Okay. So what does the near future, I'm going to say near future. What does the near future hold for Eugenia Cooney on social media? Okay. So she's going to start posting a bunch again. What does the near future hold for Eugenia Cooney when it comes to her health? Okay, not good. Ego is getting in the way of, you know, what actually needs to be going on. What to expect for Eugenia Cooney in the near future when it comes to her family dynamic, her and herself and her family. We got 2 cards. Queen of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. Definitely emotional issues, emotional communication issues, perhaps arguments, but opportunity for money. Maybe there's going to be something going on that they do together as a family. And when I say as a family, I mean her and her mother. That's like opportunity for more content or money or something like that in that kind of way. So they're just going to keep on keeping on. Her health's going to keep on depleting and so on. Okay. Now I want to take a look at Jeffree Star. So he weirdly adopted her, in my opinion, to add to his marketing. He says he cares about her, blah, blah, blah. But we all know what kind of person Jeffree Star is. And he is probably just using her for shock value. Okay. She is talked about a lot and he loves to put himself in the light. So I would like to know I'll pull a card for Jeffree, Eugenia, and the energy between them. Jeffree got Ace of Pentacles reversed. Pull one for Eugenia. Okay, we got the Nine of Swords reversed. Energy between them. We got 2 cards. King of Pentacles, Queen of Swords in the reverse. All right, so what this is telling me, Jeffree Star, he's just a complete missed opportunity himself. That's what this card represents. There's not enough time, there's not enough energy, and there's not enough resources to make him to bring him to the point that he could have potentially been at when it comes to mindset. He definitely has plenty of resources and money. That's not what this is talking about. I'm talking about lack in mindset and connection to humans, to earth, to empathy. Okay. That's really coming through. And so with the Nine of Swords being in reverse, to me, this shows me like Eugenia Cooney was feeling a relief. It was almost like, ooh, this really popular, important person is giving me attention. I'm not feeling so anxious and sad when I'm around this person. And I think he, again, just like used her for certain opportunities. And that's also why this is in the reverse, because it was just on his terms. And then the energy between Queen of Swords and King of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, there's definitely no stability within this relationship. It was not built on anything genuine. And with the Queen of Swords being in reverse, there's some deceit. There is just some indirect communication, beating around the bush. I don't feel like there is any honesty in this dynamic. So I would like to know, what are his intentions? What are his intentions? Why does he randomly insert himself into Eugenia's life? Okay, what I'm about to say is going to be so messed up, okay? All right, I'm going to say it. He's waiting for her to go. He is waiting for her to grow, and he is going to make a lot of content about it. Or he's going to say he could make a lot of content about it and not actually do it. When she's gone, he's going to say he has this inside knowledge. He knows what was actually going on, about the many conversations they had, and he may even come out with it. But he sees this as future potential for monetary gain and social media content. So, holy shit, that's fucked up. And I hate that I'm saying that, but that's literally what's coming up. This is about the future and expansion and like waiting, right? This is exactly what it is, okay? And the normal tarot, like in a normal everyday tarot reading, this is like a rebirth, a change in yourself for the better. When I do these true crime readings or stuff like this always means this, okay? And then, yeah, so once this were to happen, it's like now we're in this new territory. I've been waiting for it. Here I am. I'm planting the seeds of opportunity. Now they've blossomed and they're finally falling out of the tree, because now I can say this stuff that I've been wanting to say and make content about, and again put myself at the center of attention. So that's horrible, but I'm glad I asked. And remember, it's all alleged and for entertainment purposes, okay? Now, Shane Dawson, yeah, you suck too. So let's see. What kind of impact did Shane Dawson's documentary have on Eugenia Cooney? Yeah, obviously, I think it ruined something that could have been very helpful for her. It ripped that away from her. Immediately talking about her weight after. Yeah, this was like ignoring the signs, ignoring that intuition that he shouldn't have done it. He was way more focused. I must be getting tired. He was way more focused on himself. Ace of Wands. Yeah, this is like an inspiration for things. I think this really led her down an even darker path. I think it inspired her to look at things in a way that was just like, oh my gosh, I really did just gain all this weight. I really am looking so different. Everybody keeps saying I look so much healthier now. You know, those are problematic things to hear as a person with an eating disorder, even though you went to a little recovery thing and you have done some of the right moves, right? Your brain is still a brain that has an eating disorder. You can be in, what's the word called? Okay. Let me know if I'm misunderstanding this, but I feel like you always have an eating disorder. It's just sometimes you like relapse or you're not relapsed. Similar to like an addict, right? You're always an addict, but are you an active addict or like are you a sober addict? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like that. So I feel like it was bringing all of that to her attention, and that really inspired her to go down these rabbit holes of, oh my gosh, like what did I do to myself? That's really sad. What else do we need to know? Whoa. Okay. Oh, yep. And that's exactly when she gave back into her addiction and chose to put those thoughts on the wall, and she was gonna no longer have this inner battle with herself, and she succumbed to the addiction and the direction she was going into. Fuck you, Shane Dawson, and everybody else. But I mean, come on, man. Like, that's just so shitty. Okay. Excuse my language, by the way. Not that I'm sure any of y'all care. Okay, now I feel like is a really good time to go to the dowsing rods. So let's do it. Okay, so I'm just gonna relight my eucalyptus leaves to kind of cleanse the space again. Use them on my dowsing rods because this is not me banging them everywhere, sorry, because this is what we're gonna be using now. So I just want to clarify, when I use my dowsing rods, I connect with my guides. That is who I'm communicating to. I connect with my guides, and I ask that we connect with Eugenia Cooney's guides so we can all collaborate together to bring forth the information that I am seeking. Sometimes the dowsing rods will not answer, and that's because that's information that they don't want to answer. So just putting that out there. But if you're unfamiliar with dowsing rods, whenever they, I'm going to be purposefully doing this, but whenever they separate like this, that means no. And then whenever they are crossing like this, that means yes. Okay. But usually how I do it, I hold my hands perfectly still and then they move by themselves. So let's showcase it. Okay, before I get started, could you please cross to show the camera what yes looks like? Okay, so that's what it looks like when they do it on their own. Also, I tend to hold my breath when I do this, so I kind of get weirdly out of breath. Don't judge me. Okay, and then can you please show me what the answer no looks like separated? Can you do that now? Can you separate the rods, please, to show me what no looks like? Okay, great. Okay, so I have these questions written down. I wrote it all kind of crazy. Okay, first things that I am going to be asking about is the mom. So in my reading, I came to the conclusion that the mother lacks empathy for Eugenia Cooney and resents her and was trying to live vicariously through her. That is a strong yes. Thank you for that answer. Just wanted to confirm that. Is Eugenia Cooney's mother, is her controlling tendencies part of the reason for Eugenia's eating disorder? Yes. Okay. Is it the only reason for her eating disorder? Is Eugenia Cooney's mother the only reason for her eating disorder? No. Thank you. Is Eugenia Cooney's dad a reason for her disorder as well? Yes. Did her dad also partake in any controlling behaviors over Eugenia? Yes. Was her dad abusive in any way towards Eugenia? Yes. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to ask a hard question. I don't want to ask it, but I'm asking it. Did Eugenia Cooney's dad sexually assault Eugenia in any form? I would like a big, obvious answer. I'm going to ask that we reset. I'm going to ask that we reset. Was she sexually abused by her father in any way? Thank you for the answer. Is that why they have a very deep, close relationship with each other? Yeah. Did this abuse stop at some point? Yes. hopefully you can see, they just tend to cross a little bit more or just sway a little bit, but then stay crossed when it's another yes answer after one yes answer. So I'm gonna reset them. Okay, did this abuse stop after she started getting popular online? No. Did it stop before that? No. Did it stop once she was an adult? They don't want to answer. Okay. Thank you. Let's see. So, okay, now we know Eugenia Cooney has been through some abuse from her mother and her dad. That's heartbreaking. Did anything with Eugenia Cooney's brother contribute to her eating disorder? No. Okay, let's see. Does Eugenia Cooney realize the reality of where her health is at? Yeah, I'm getting like to an yeah, okay. Yes, she does. Does, thank you. Can we reset, please? Okay, does Eugenia Cooney's mother know the actual reality of her health situation? Yes. Now they claim that she's healthy, the doctors don't see a problem with this, blah, blah, blah. Does Eugenia Cooney actually go see a doctor? Nope. Nope. I think there's some speculation that her mom gives Eugenia Cooney IVs. Is this a true statement? Yep. Is Eugenia Cooney on drugs? Yep. Right? I mean, you kind of have to suppress your appetite, stimulants to keep you that energized. Is she on stimulants to keep her body energized and doing things? I feel like I moved. I'm going to re-ask that question. Is Eugenia Cooney on some type of stimulants to keep her body energized and moving, to keep up with social media? Can I have a big answer? Okay, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Okay. Has Eugenia Cooney and her mother ever had a deep or real conversation about her eating disorder? No. As a mother, I can't imagine what's wrong with her mom. I think her name's Deb. What's wrong with you, Deb? Does Eugenia Cooney watch videos about herself? Yes. Thank you. Will Eugenia Cooney watch this video? Yes. Sorry, girl. We just want you to be okay. Has Eugenia Cooney's mother thought about when Eugenia Cooney dies? Yes. Is this something that she is nervous for? Yes. Is she nervous because she's going to be sad and miss her daughter? Maybe a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Is she nervous because this takes away a big portion of their income? A little bit. Is she nervous because she knows the heat is going to be turned on to her? Oh, yeah. Has she come up with any plan of action or not yet? No, she hasn't. Is she worried about what other people are going to expose after Eugenia Cooney's death? I hate to say that. Is she worried about what other people are going to come out with? Yeah, she is. Because she knows people know. Does Deb know that people know? She's aware of that? Yeah. Okay. Now, thank you. I'm going to ask that we reset. Thank you. Is Jeffree Star going to come out and say that he knows things after Eugenia Cooney's unfortunately inevitable passing? Yes. Is he going to actually make content that exposes any of the things that he will claim to say he knows? At this point in time, no. Typical Jeffree. But it still puts him in the limelight for a little bit. Is he only using her for more attention with his products? Yeah. Does Eugenia Cooney know that Jeffree Star is using her? Oh, she does know. She just doesn't want to acknowledge it. Yeah. I need to take a break so I can breathe and do this one. Okay. Let's see. What are any other questions? Let me check. Eugenia Cooney seems to not know how to do most things in life. Is that because her mother never let her do anything? Yeah. Is there a possibility that Eugenia Cooney is autistic? Yep. I knew it. That's okay. My son's autistic. I got a little bit of it. Even though you can't have a little bit. You aren't, but whatever. You know, I get it. There were some things that I saw in her that made me think that. Is that partly why she is still like so dependent on her family? Yeah. This is just one question I had in particular for myself. So like, okay, my son, he has ARFID. That's the eating disorder, but it's not like an anorexic one. ARFID can unfortunately turn into anorexia, but what ARFID is it's like a genuine fear of food. Like you could look at it, smell it, think about it, and you like actually want to vomit. It's really, really hard. But anyways, my point being, Eugenia Cooney's mom has said she's always been thin, and I've seen some pictures of Eugenia Cooney when she was tiny. I don't think there's too many, like a little girl, and she did look a little small. And so I would like to know whether that was her mom already not feeding her enough as a kid, or if Eugenia Cooney, being autistic, had ARFID and already had food struggles. So let's see here. Did Eugenia Cooney's mother purposefully keep food away from Eugenia even as a small girl? No. Growing up, does Eugenia Cooney have ARFID? Yeah, she did. That makes sense. So as a part of this coddling from her family, because they know that they can't do anything about ARFID, and so they are trying to like twist the situation into seeming like supportive parents when in reality they could be doing way more. Yes, that was my freaking speculation, because here's the thing with ARFID, right? Like, you can't force your kid to eat. You can't. You don't want to punish them for it. Heck no. You don't want to traumatize them even more. You can do therapies. You can do all this stuff. But if they aren't ready to try and make some kind of change, it's not going to happen. It's a really, really genuinely hard disorder to have. And some people only have a certain amount of safe foods. Some people run out of safe foods and they don't eat anything, and it results into having a G tube, a feeding tube. And, you know, I'm part of some ARFID groups for parents of that have kids with ARFID. And that's often the route that a lot of parents have to go, because they will do anything to make sure their kids get the proper nutrients. And to me, they weren't going to do that. They don't deem her or anyone in the family, it really seems, as valuable enough to seek the help that they deserve. So my opinion, which was now confirmed by the dowsing rods, is that Eugenia Cooney had ARFID, or has ARFID, whatever, and that morphed into anorexia because of the abuse and the controlling environment that she was in. So dowsing rods, everything I just said, could you please confirm, yes or no? Is that true? Yes. I knew it. That breaks my heart. That hurts my heart so much. It pisses me off. I just, so stupid. Okay, whatever. And I get it. You can't force anybody into help, right? They have to want it. And now she's a grown woman, so they really can't force her in anything like that. But as a child, you know, it's hard. Your kids don't want to go to the doctor. Getting a feeding tube, that has to be terrifying. I can't imagine. But if your child isn't eating, like, wouldn't you do anything for them? I guess she wouldn't, or they wouldn't. Okay, I feel like, oh, I almost forgot to ask. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I remembered. The impact of social media. So her being on TikTok live all the time and seeing comments all the time about herself, is that further encouraging her eating disorder? Yes. Was Eugenia Cooney well aware of the times that she would be flashing? Yes. Is Eugenia Cooney a part of any pro-Anna forums online? I don't want to answer. Maybe not directly. Okay. Is Eugenia Cooney... Sorry. Was Eugenia Cooney purposefully making fetish content at one point? Yeah. There was videos of her like trying really hard to pick up heavy things and struggling. That's disgusting because that's fetish content. That's pro-Anna content. And Eugenia Cooney stopped all of that because TikTok was no longer allowing it. Yes. Another question people have, does Eugenia Cooney actually go to church with her mother? Do they actually go somewhere? No, they don't. Do they have church in their home? Yes. So they don't even actually go to church. She doesn't leave her house. Unless it's to go to Disney World or something. Oh my gosh, I don't want to like miss any important questions. I'm sorry if this is kind of dragging out. I'm going to edit it in a way where it's hopefully not as like miserable for y'all to watch. I just want to make sure that, again, I'm as respectful as I can be and asking the right questions in the right manner. Does Eugenia Cooney think that she is going to no longer live soon? She does think that. That's really sad. Does this make her upset? Mixed feelings. She doesn't know what to think. Does she realize even a little bit the amount of pain and trauma that her mother has caused her? Yeah. And her father, now that we know from the dowsing rods allegedly that he was abusing her, does she realize that? Yes. Was her making that prank call video about claiming that he got her pregnant, Was that a secret cry for help online, hoping that people would pick up on how weird that was? Yeah. Poor Eugenia. When she watches this video, is she going to feel angry? Is she going to feel sad? A little bit. Is it going to change anything for her? Is watching this video going to change anything for her? No. That's all the questions I'm asking. That's all the questions I can think of right now. If I missed anything, please let me know. There's just so much going on with this topic in my brain after channeling and doing readings for a while, and then now this of just really focusing, it starts to kind of turn into mush, and then I get sleepy and confused and don't know what's happening. So anyways, that being said, that was a lot of info. My heart hurts for her. Please, if you were in a similar situation, like, just tell somebody if it's not obvious. Like, you are worthy of help. You're deserving of help. You deserve to feel okay. Whatever that looks like for you, you deserve to feel actually okay. So please let me know what you thought in the comments. If your opinions align with what came up in this video, or if your opinions differ. Again, I'm very expected to, or I am expecting, I am dumb with my words. I am expecting to receive different opinions on this video. So yeah, again, they're all welcome. Just be respectful, and be sure to give me a like and a subscribe if you haven't already. I normally post true crime tarot videos or pick a card videos, so this one's just a little bit different. So if you enjoyed it, let me know, because I might do some more stuff like this. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for spending your time on my channel here with me. I really appreciate it. I do want to shout out, I just hit 400 subscribers. So I am a smaller creator, but I'm very proud of myself, and I'm very proud of the content that I make, because I know it's legit. I know it's good. And yeah, every time I make a video, I feel so good about it. So I'm really excited to see where this continues to take me, how this grows, and hopefully soon I will be creating a little about me video so I can just connect deeper with all of you guys, because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have a platform. So thank you so much. It's so appreciated, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.